Welcome to Lost Culture, the one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston. Today we're going to do a review and a recap for Atlanta Season 1, Episode 6. So in this episode was basically, we had a full Vans episode. We don't really get to see Van too much. So this episode was completely dedicated to Van. We seen Earn once. We seen, Paperboy once. So, it was really just a Van episode. At the beginning, we get to see that Van is meeting one of her old friends at a nice little restaurant and everything. We see her just talking about everything. Her friend's like a little Instagram model / thotty jump off. I don't know what's the real title for it. Not really an escort, but she does escort-ish things. So we see she's talking to her about all the trips she's taking and everything. She's telling Van all about these expensive places she should go, especially I think she said for her hair down in Midtown. And Van was basically asking her she telling her she can't really afford it. She doesn't have athletes and other type of famous people paying for all of her her things. So we see they're already not really getting off to a good start. Not really getting off to a good start, because we see Van's friends telling her oh, Tyler, don't use chopsticks and everything. There's an American misconception and everything. So off that, we already see it's just bad. She's telling her oh, I seen Ern's Snapchat. He seems really busy. Even though she's just she was just patronizing her basically the whole time. It was foul. And we even see once the athletes show up, she invited a friend for Van, which was a cool thing. It was kinda a cool thing. But if she was down for it, it'd been cool. But obviously Van wasn't really gonna be down for it. She thought they were just linking up as friends and everything. But we see she's not ready for that. And then the athletes, they didn't even come and eat with them to get to know them. Basically, they just showed up all right, pack y'all food up, let's go. I don't even think their food even got to the table. I think the dudes came at the same time as the food came. And as soon as the dudes got there, hey, pack this up, we'll pay for it. So that was kind of yeah, Van wasn't really feeling it. And we seen that from the beginning. They were arguing over she's telling her, when Van's friend was telling her she didn't know her worth and everything. And I'm like, how are you going to tell her to know her worth when you out here just meeting random dudes in different countries and whatnot? And you telling this girl to know her worth? But it's just my opinion. It was just my opinion. But from there, we get to see Van basically storms off, Charlie leaves, and we see they kind of make up in the car. And we see they're talking about Earn having different side chicks and everything. And I don't know if that really Earn's girl or whatever, because we know Darius just gave him that phone. So I don't know if that's one of Darius' chicks that Earn didn't delete one of the pics, or it's really one of Earn's little pieces. But we don't really know. But we do see Vanessa's talking about, oh, I ignore Earn sometimes when I'm with another dude or whatever, or I got another dude I'm cuddled up with, which I don't know if she's really saying that for, what's her name? We do know Earn go out, not Earn, but we know Van actually goes out on other dates and whatnot. So I don't understand why I don't understand. I know Earn goes out on other dates and whatnot, but I don't really know if she really be doing getting out like that. And another thing is, they were talking about, her and her friend were talking about her and Earn's relationship. She was talking about, yeah, he stays with me when he can afford to live with me. That doesn't really make sense, in my opinion, because if you're going to pay your rent without him, I understand you don't want him to freeload off of you, but if you know he's out working, and he really can't afford to pay rent, that's kind of messed up. It's really messed up, because if you can afford to pay your rent without him, why does it matter how much he's actually bringing to the table if you really care about him, if he makes you happy or whatever, and he's still providing for his daughter, taking care of his daughter and everything. And yeah, I just felt it was kind of messed up. He can only stay with her if he can afford to pay half the rent, even though she could truly afford to pay it by herself. Because obviously, if she can just kick him out when he's not paying rent, she still has to cover that portion of the rent anyway. So I just feel like it's kind of messed up. If she can afford her rent without him anyway, what's the difference? He can just use that money just to bring food or whatnot in the house. So yeah, I don't really understand why it's such a big deal when he really can't afford to pay half the rent sometimes. Especially like they got a kid together, like she said. They always mess around with each other, and he's allowed to live there when he can pay half the rent. I just think it's kind of stupid in my personal opinion. She's making it a little bit harder on him. If he had a stable place, and he might be able to. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It kind of irks me a little bit. I'm not saying she needs to take care of him or anything. He should be able to take care of himself since he is a grown man. But it's kind of weird when they have a child together. They are co-parenting. Yeah. But besides that, we see Van and her friend are actually in the car talking about life and everything. We see she actually gets her to smoke weed. Which we see, like, this isn't the first time they smoke weed together. They used to do this all the time together. And we see when they're in the car just talking about everything. Her friend asks her to take a picture for her. She does it. She doesn't really like it. And Van was like, oh, you can be like, you're like an Instagram escort. And it was pretty funny. That's basically what she is. And she said, you should be proud of that. Like, yeah, it was pretty funny. Even though it was a jab, it was pretty funny at the same time. Now, after that, we get to see Van at home in the morning. She's basically hungover. Not really hungover. Well, yeah, hungover, I guess would say. Her phone's going off. It's basically reminding her of a drug test. And she kind of starts to panic after that. We see she really didn't want to smoke weed. She really didn't want to go out or anything. We don't know if she actually went out or anything. We don't really know. But we see she's at home having a hard time waking up. She definitely has a hard time finding her phone. So she actually finds her phone. Once she finds her phone, she sees she has a drug test. Like I said, she starts to panic. So she called her friend, asking her what to do to her friend. But I never had a job where I couldn't smoke weed. So there goes that help. She asks her for help, see if she can find anything. She doesn't find anything. Van looks online to see if she can find anything. And she can't find anything. And then, so she calls Paperboy / Al to see if she can get anything, get any info from him. He gives her a little advice about just taping the condom taping the condom to her leg full of clean pee. And she doesn't really know where to get anything. Bright idea. Like, the first thing that came to my head, like, you have a baby right there. Just go fill her up with a bunch of water and stuff. You can get her to pee on the spot. And she doesn't really do that. She just goes and get old diapers and try her best to get urine out of that. She does. She manages to get, I want to say a big amount, but she seemed to get enough probably to fill up to the minimum line of her like drug test. Now, with that being said, we see Al comes and help her out. Al basically picks the baby up like an hour early or super early because he tells her like you can get another hour of sleep if you want to. So he obviously there early enough for her to get another hour of sleep. So he picks her up, tells her he'll feed her and everything. She's looking at him like, oh, he's a good guy. But her friend's little argument she got in with her friend would ask nothing about Al and other girls kind of in the back of her head. So she sees she goes through his phone. She kind of like, hey, can I get Al's number? And we see she going through her phone. She's actually cool when she's first swiping through. She see him and Darius a Paperboy, Earn a Paperboy, them as a group. And then she sees the random little side chick. Like I said, I don't know if that was Ernst or I don't know if that was Darius. Because you know that phone used to belong to Darius. And he really didn't clear it out. He just gave it to him on the spot. So that right there probably come back later down the line. Ern probably won't be able to stay with Vanessa once he start making money again. And with that, she basically kind of makes up her mind like, yeah, I'm going to go fuck other niggas, basically. That's how I took out of it. Like, she got the green light to go mess with other people. Now, she still haven't really found the real solution for this drug test. She figures she just used the urine, so she takes it to her leg. We see she didn't do her hair. She's at work. The funniest thing in this whole episode, that little bad kid with the white face on. That was silly as hell to me. Like when they do the little camera on him, and we see even his lips were white, and he did a little eye thing at him. That shit was silly as hell. So he does it to the first teacher. The first teacher kind of freaked out. Obviously, he does stuff like this on a regular basis. She's like telling her she's going to like kill him or beat him or something if he keeps doing this. And Van is trying to get her to her drug test. And she doesn't really want to deal with it. She tells like, I'm telling her to call one of the other teachers. He'll exclude her on ISS. And I'm assuming that's what she did because we see Van goes to her drug test. Van has the condom. It's like the most lapsed drug test I've ever seen. Like, dang. Like, she just goes into the room by herself. I've been seeing drug tests where people come in. I've had drug tests where people actually come in the room with me and watch me pee. So, like, this is a super lapsed drug test. They didn't check her or anything. This is pretty crazy. So she does that. What else does she do? She does that drug test. She doesn't even do it. She opens up the teacher's attempted to open up the condom, and when she tries to open it up, which I don't understand why she did that. I like at least hold it over. Like, if you're gonna do that, hold it over the cup. So if any does spill, you could just catch it right there. But not Van. She really didn't think about it. So when she goes in there, she tries to open it with her mouth, and it just gets all over her. Like the condom explodes and gets all over her. And apparently, she decided just not to do the drug test would be the best option. And when her boss calls her into the office, she tells her, "Oh, we didn't get your drug test today." She basically just confesses, "Like, look, I smoked weed, so I couldn't really do the drug test." The boss seemed real cool with it at first. Like, look, everybody smokes weed. We understand these kids have their back against the wall, and it's just this system isn't built for these kids. Now, with that being said, she tells her, like, look, it's okay, but I gotta fire you. And Van just looking shocked. She thought she was okay. Like, you see her shoulders, like her shoulders drop. She feel way more relaxed, and she was like, oh my God, it's, yeah. So she thought she was cool for a second, but then her boss was like, look, I gotta fire you for multiple reasons. Basically because you confessed to smoking weed to a superior, and just to be liability on a school basis. And after the principal told her, like, you would have been cool, man. Like, we don't even send those drug tests off. We just do them because we gotta do them. We can't even afford to send them off, which was funny. So after that happens, everything was cool, and once they do that, that's really at the end of the episode. We see Van goes to ISS. She's there with the little kid, and we see a little kid with the white face. He actually gives her the face too. Was another funny thing. Another thing is when she does call Paperboy at the beginning of the episode, we see he's being real petty. He's laying on the couch. He's confused. Like, we see actually reluctant to pick up the phone for Van. He was getting ready to hang up on her. He really doesn't feel like dealing with her. Maybe he feels the same way I feel about Van. Cause I do think it's stupid that Aaron can't stay there when he can't really afford to pay rent. Now, with that being said, we see he's like being petty with her. Oh, he's basically quoting her for all the stuff she says. Like, I feel like weed is for someone who's not really going anywhere. So it was pretty funny he was doing that. When she asked him for help, he's tried to help her, but he couldn't really help her. And then again, at the end of the episode, she figures she's fired, and now she's like, "Hey, can I get an eighth?" He basically like, "Man, you better say my name, say me under a different name in your phone, and stop being sloppy." Because he knows if you sell her weed, obviously Aaron's not gonna like it if Aaron finds out about it. So that's one issue, and like, it's kind of a conflict of interest because we know she's always talking about, oh, weed isn't good for people and stuff. So there goes that. Now, that's really all we have for this episode. Now, my Atlanta moment of the week has to go to Van when she does actually she's just collecting, you're trying to find a way to get urine. She actually decides just to dip into her leg. It didn't turn out well, but it's the fact that the way she came around her urine, she's pretty cool with it. Like, she's pretty good with it. You see, she boiled it to get all the urine out of it. So I gotta give her props for that. She gets our Atlanta moment of the week. Now, what I did like about the episode, I like how they mentioned how the school system is kind of messed up. Even like it was funny how they had the little class clown dude. That was funny. My down was it wasn't really like an episode of Van wasn't really as compelling as it is like when we got Earn interacting with everybody else. I feel like she should have interacted with more people or interacted with more of the main cast. Because a lot of people probably does ask when they I always like, dang, we're Van that on a regular basis, but I feel like it would have been better off for this episode if they would have had her like, even though they were interacting with the main, have her with the main cast, but just show her how it feels from her point of view of her just being around the main cast. She could have spent the day with the main cast and everything, and that would have made the episode a lot more compelling and a lot better in my personal opinion. But besides that, it was still a pretty cool episode. I love to see it from her point of view, see her day to day from her point of view, and we got to see Earn for a little bit from her point of view. But besides that, yeah, it could have did a little bit more. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at Lost_Culture, or you can follow us on Twitter at Lost_CultTV, or you can follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston. And as always, stay lost. Episode, we got a lot of shenanigans going on. We see Darius not really hanging out with the be upset at him and actually just send him